Hey everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about some photos that I've taken. I know it's been a little while since I've done a talking head, so I thought I'd just do an intro with me in it, and then we'll jump to some photos that I took. So about a week or so ago we went to the Rocks in Sydney. So it's a little place pretty much in the city, in the CBD, and yeah, it's quite scenic there, and at the moment it's the Lunar New Year of the Tiger, I think, if I'm right, hopefully. And yeah, there was a little bit of a sort of, not a festival, but a few events, little things, stalls and stuff going on. So we walked through there and took a few pictures of the city, etc. And I thought I would sort of go through the photos and critique them a little bit and maybe talk about some of the things that didn't go right so I can learn from those, and maybe it'll help you as well. And feel free to leave me any comments that might help me. I'm still learning, fairly beginner photographer in my own eyes. So if there's any tips you can give me or anything that you see that I didn't see, leave them in the comments. And if you enjoy this video, give a thumbs up. That really helps my channel. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it'll be a bit more frequent than the one before, the gap that I've had with my video making. So anyway, I will cut it here and then I'll go over to a voiceover and show you the pictures as I chat about them. See you there. Okay, so we'll start with the first photo. This is actually one of the first photos that I took on the day. And yeah, just this, we were in the sort of tunnel, which parked at the front of this tunnel. And I thought it just looks so cool the way the light is, the tunnel is leading to the light. Happy with the composition, but I think I could have done better with the exposure. The sky is blown out, and unfortunately I couldn't quite recover the highlights to the way I wanted them. Also, I think with the composition I could have got a little bit more of the sky in, because it's sort of there's only a little slither of it at the top, and it would have been better if those trees were a little bit lower. But overall, it was a good attempt at a sort of tunnel going into the light. So this next photo is just a photo of a sign, just to show the location. I like to do that when I go on my photo walks, just so that I know, the different streets we covered and different, paths, etc. So that's that one. The composition's all right. I think it could have been better with a bit of a wider lens, but yeah, I like the colours. This next one, where I spotted a phone booth and I sort of try to get a reflection out of it, but it didn't really work too well. You can see there's a person there probably on the right, but I don't know, the colours just weren't quite working out for me in this one. Again, probably a wider lens would have been better, and maybe focusing more on the telephone. I don't know if that's quite sharp enough, and maybe a slightly different angle, but I like the red colours. But yeah, not my best, but again, it was a good attempt to have a go at a reflection, and I think the more you do them, the more you've got potential to improve. This one's just a city shot. I quite like it, like the blues and the tones of the green and the yellow, all three colours together. I really like this one. Spotted this sort of reddy orange tree, and I just love it against the sky. I think it pops nicely on the darker trees on the outside. Nothing special as a picture, but I just really like the colours. Sometimes for me, the colours, I don't know, are like more meaningful than the story. I don't know, I'm very much into colour grading, I guess, like different tones, mixing different colours together, just to create a different mood. And it's amazing how much you can get from colour in a photo. But yes, there is the whole story aspect, but this one I just really like for the colour. This next one, I don't normally photograph people. It's not my thing. No faces in this one, so otherwise I wouldn't have published it. But yeah, just the markets that I was sort of talking about earlier, and just to show you sort of the scene of what it was like. Trying to get there at a bit of foreground with the plant, but I don't think that was in a good spot. But yeah, anyway, just again having just to try it, doing something different rather than just, you know, shooting straight on. But the pole there in the middle as well takes a little bit away from the picture. I was a little hesitant to take this in the first place just because there's a lot of people. I prefer to take pictures where there isn't any people or minimal people. But yeah, you've always got to have a try and see if you like it. And the colours are all right, but yeah, the composition failed me here, I think. This one here, I just saw this little sort of cafe. I like the way it looked with the sky and the little sky panels there, whatever you call them. And I decided to shoot it really down from the floor just to give it a bit of an angle. I don't know if it turned out okay. I think it needed to be a bit more zoomed in, but when I crop it doesn't have the right feel. So yeah, another sort of not 100% photo, but I like the idea of shooting from a different angle. I think it gives it a different perspective, so I'll definitely try that again. This one here is just a picture of those little things on the roof, whatever you call them. The shade cloths, I guess they're called. Yeah, I like the colours, nothing special, just practicing really working with sort of geometric shapes and how to shoot them. I quite like that the triangular bit sort of points down, but probably again could have gone a little bit wider on this shot. Oh, so this is the there was a little couple of food stalls, you know, selling various things, and we decided to get this what was it, spinach and feta pied, I think it was called. I think my colour grading's not on point here, but yeah, the food was nice. And the composition, again, that with the hand cut off, not the best. I probably should have just placed that plate on the floor. But yeah, a lot of lessons have been learnt in this little photo walk, so it was good to do. This one, very boring, but it meant something to me. Like when we walked through the rocks, you could see these buildings were built with like, I don't know, like shells, I think, in there. So I just took a picture just for memories. It's not something you normally see, you know, in sandstone. So it was just an interesting little macro detail, I guess. Here I'm just trying to photograph these sort of lantern things that are hanging up, but I just couldn't get the right angle. I got a bit frustrating trying to capture them in the right way. I don't know. I'll have to sort of look back through photo books and other sources to see what best angle to photograph these is. I probably should have gone underneath it, maybe along the line, I don't know. And here are they are a little bit close up. There's some sails there, so just going for kind of geometry here. Not the best photo again, but just playing around with colors and how to shoot these geometric shapes again. So yeah, I still need to work on that for sure. This one I really like. It was just, this is at the back of the market, so the market sort of, I guess, alleyway, whatever is in front of this to the left. But we walked the path behind it, and I just took this shot of the sort of, again, for the colors. I quite like it, actually. It's you know, it doesn't have too much meaning, or I guess it has a story, you know. It's this person that sews and sells their stuff, which is really nice and colourful. This was just a spur of the moment. We were walking towards the bridge, under the bridge, and I don't know if any of you know that are not from Sydney, but the Harbour Bridge, you can go on a tour to go up the bridge. You have to, you know, wear a special suit and etc. And these people there are on the bridge getting ready to go up, and they're all suited up and just walking along. And I just really liked the way they were sort of, you know, spaced almost exactly the same distance apart, and the little blue blobs amongst the bridge and the green tree. Composition wise, I don't know, that bottom part there probably could have been cut off, but when I played around with the cropping, it just didn't look quite right when I cut that off because the context got a little bit lost. So yeah, that's that one. And this is a picture of the famous Opera House from Sydney. Not the best angle, but I like the sky and sort of the dark foreground. Next one's from similar location, just pointing a different way. A few of the trees there. Oh, this one here was fun. So there's these, I don't know what do you call them, cannons. There's a few of them in a row there. And there's some sand on the bottom, so we decided to throw some sand into it to imply that the cannon has just, been fired. So, yeah, it was a bit of a fun picture. The lighting wasn't the best. There's a lot of, backlit sky, etc. So the subject didn't quite turn out right. But there was, limited options for angles and stuff. But, yeah, the actual shot, the idea turned out really well. But, yeah, composition and lighting wasn't perfect. But I quite like it. It's the creative sort of fun shot. Yeah, this one is one of two reflections. There was a little puddle there that I started to sort of play around with, and there was a couple there walking through, and sort of I like the way that you can barely see them because there's a tree behind them, but in the middle of the picture there's a couple, and I like the way they're sort of embracing, but in the puddle, in the water, they're blurry, so it's sort of like they're clear at the top but blurry, love is sort of a blurred thing, like an intertwining thing. So I don't know, there's some sort of, more meaning to it, I guess, in my head. And the next one's another reflection, but this time sort of under the bridge, and a couple of trees in the foreground. This one here, I couldn't zoom in enough. This is the famous Luna Park on the other side of the water, on the North Sydney side, Milson Point, I think it is. So you could probably see just in the middle there the sort of famous entrance to the park. Nice little spots, but maybe not quite the right lens. I like that the boat's there in the shot, so the timing was kind of good. Yeah, nice picture in my eyes. Here, just a sort of funny kind of angular footpath with a light, with the footpath closed, go this way, and then there's a person walking in there, and then you've got the half a bridge kind of picture hanging, and then the bridge above it. Again, could have gone wider on that one. This one here, again, I'm playing around with trying to use this sort of old fence to frame the Luna Park. I think it turned out okay. And just playing around with reflections again, so this is just a motorbike that I spotted, and the palm from up the top reflecting in the mirror there. This again sort of under the bridge, some of the buildings in the city. And again, I spotted a reflection here, but it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted. But I don't mind the colours and the archway, but again, needed to be wider, and I couldn't get any wider. There's just a footpath there, and then the markets were there. So yeah, sometimes the lens that you take sort of limits what you can do in the moment. And this was, towards the end, we found this little alley in between some of the old buildings and the rocks, with these hanging lanterns. But I guess this would be more spectacular at night with all the lights on, whereas we were there in the day. Still like the colours though, and the way that tunnel and the light goes down the tunnel. And this is just a close-up of me trying another angle of taking, pictures of these lanterns from angles, from different angles. And that draws us to the close of this photo shoot. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably not my best photo shoot, but it's also always good to, look at your mistakes and improve. I think photography is one of those things where you can only get better by trying and reading about different techniques and trying them out again. And this was one of those sort of more frustrating days where there weren't very many good pictures, but I thought I'd put it up anyway, just as a learning exercise and a diary entry for myself, and a learning exercise for myself, and hopefully somehow it will help you on your way as well. Anyway, if you like the video, just leave a thumbs up. It really helps. And also subscribe. That's a big help for my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.